Hello everyone, this is RVer Frank out here in the garage. Beautiful day for a project on the Colorado Z71. So today we're going to address the ride height on this four-wheel drive. You can see the ride height looks fairly low, and I'm not sure it was set up in the most optimum ride height in front, which these Colorados have a torsion bar front suspension, and the low point is the second cross member behind that Rancho logo there. There's a cross member there as part of that 4-inch lift that gives me about 8 inches of clearance, and it might be a little lower than the pumpkin or the rear differential back there. So the idea is to bring that up, and at the same time make sure that the drive axles to that front end CV boots and the CV joints aren't at an angle that it will cause premature wear. So in looking at that, you can see that the wheel CV joint to the drive axle CV joint is actually higher, and I believe that the optimum would be to have that at least even. So if I were to raise the chassis by 1 inch, I would achieve a leveled drive axle, and through the torsion bar cranking I would then increase that ground clearance. In the process of raising the front end, I may have to adjust the headlights here. I'll have to take a look at that. Okay, let's take a look at the torsion bar adjustment screw. What you want to do is make a mark so you can count your number of turns. So I've drawn a green line and I've scribed in a mark on the frame. And so that is where I will do my rotation count from. And it'll be a clockwise rotation using a 1 1/16 socket. So I want to lift this 1.5 inches. So that means that I'm going to rotate this clockwise 4 turns. 3/8 of an inch per turn will give me 1.5 inch rides. I'll begin by using the 1.5 ton scissor jack and lift up on that cross member just behind the Rancho logo there, and I'll jack it up just to get the pressure off of the torsion bar, make it easier to crank, and I'll lift it just to get the wheels just barely off the ground. Okay, it's jacked up. Use a floor jack if you have one. The scissor jack is a little bit of effort. Anyway, it's up. We'll begin to adjust the torsion bar. Okay, I'll get under there and make those 4 turns of the screw. Okay, jack removed, adjustment 4 turns completed, and that gave me 1.5 inch lift. So we're looking at 3/8 of an inch for each turn. Okay, well that opened up that front wheel well. I'll be going to that larger tire. This is a stock 265/70/17 tire with a 4.5 inch offset. I'll be going to a 285/70/17, which is the Rancho 4-inch lift recommendation. I'll be trimming that forward plastic cowling there. Make sure I don't have any turn rub, and there's none in the back. There's plenty of space. Again, that's a 4.5 inch offset. It gives the truck a little wider stance, given it has a 4-inch lift. Okay, this is what the truck looked like before the torsion bar lift, and just went for a drive and to let the lift settle in, and there it is. You can see it looks level now as far as the hood line going back. It's a little hard to see here in the fisheye lens of the camera, but it does go more level. And of course that front wheel well is very cavernous. Will give lots of room for a larger tire. And again, that 33-inch diameter tire will increase the height by about a half an inch in addition to the suspension lift. As you can see, the CV joint is now level. Depending on what angle you get at, it might be a little lower at the wheel, but it's pretty level. There will be less wear on those CV joints. You can see there that I have a little more ground clearance. Should be about 1.5 inches more ground clearance, and with that larger tire being about a half an inch, half of the diameter increase of 1 inch, I have a 2-inch riser at the front axle. There's no angle to the front tire, so it lifted pretty well straight up. It handled very nice going down the road, didn't pull, went straight, handled just like it did before. So I'm not going to go for an alignment. Okay, done with the test drive. You can see the truck looks level now. I checked the dimensions. I'm at 1.5-inch lift. It did not pull. It felt very firm in the ride. It felt a little mushy before. So I'm very satisfied with this adjustment. Okay, wrapping this up, I've achieved my goals, 3 areas of improvement on this lift. One is the lift for clearance. The second was being able to have more room in the front wheel well for the larger tire. And then having a level front axle, creating less wear on the CV joint. So as you can see, all 3 of those have been achieved with the 1.5-inch lift by cranking the torsion bar adjustment screw clockwise 4 times, each turn equaling 3/8 of an inch to achieve a 1.5-inch lift at the front axle. As you can see, making a lift of that amount doesn't create any front tire lean one way or the other. It came up straight, and it's as evidenced by the way it handles. There's no difference in the handling, and it tracks straight. So, and it's level from the hood line back. It's an enormous wheel well there now for the front tire. Again, the camera maybe exaggerates that somewhat, but definitely is a lot of room under there. So that will wrap up this project. I hope this helps you in any adjustment questions you might have. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.